Hello, my name is Dr. Speiser. Today we're going to discuss how to make potable water from non-potable sources on the go and when in place. The first thing is you have to identify a potable water source. Any water from a lake, river, or stream can be used to make potable water. But first we have to assume that all freshwater sources that are not municipally treated are non-potable. So when you select a lake, river, or stream or source of water, first thing is you have to collect it. On a daily basis, we need approximately a quart to a gallon of water, depending on if you're on the go or you're in place. Also, in certain extreme extreme heat conditions, you're going to require more water. So the first thing you do is you need a collection container. You can use a cup or a small container to collect the water from your lake, river, or stream. You take the water, and the first thing we have to do is get rid of the nasty sediment, dirt, body parts from animals, and leaves, anything that's a sediment contaminant. You're going to need a small container and a cloth. You take the water and you pour it through the cloth into your collection container. This has to be a clean container. After you've removed the sediment, your next step is to add chlorine. We recommend using a Chlorflock treatment kit. This is a treatment kit used by the U.S. military. It contains small packets of chlorine which are pre-measured. You will need to use one packet for every quart of water that you collect. So into your clean container, you're going to pour the chlorine. Once it's in the container, you need to stir it around and make sure it's evenly distributed into the collected water. What's very important is the contact time. The instructions call for 15 minutes contact time, but according to the new military standards, you need 30 minutes contact time to kill and disinfect the water, particularly if there's certain viruses in the water. So we have to assume that they're in the water and 30 minutes contact time is necessary. After you've let the chlorine sit in the non-potable water for 30 minutes, the next step is to put it through another filtration process. The filtration system that we recommend is a ceramic filter. There are several ceramic filters on the market. The one we recommend is the UltraGrav. The UltraGrav is the latest technology, and it's imported from England. It's rated to remove 99.99% of parasites and better than 99.99% of bacteria. So you'll take your water that you've just chlorinated for 30 minutes, and the next step is to put it through the filtration process through the ceramic. So in this device, you can fill it up to the top, and it will take about 30 minutes to percolate through the filter, and during that time, the filter will remove parasites, bacteria, smaller particles of sediment, bad taste and odor, and the residual chlorine. Once you've gone through that process, the last step is to put it into a container and use an ultraviolet device to further sterilize the water. This is for any residual viruses. So there's two ways you can do this. You can either use a Camelback filtration bottle that has a UV built into it, and it's a device that will work it's a 60-second process. Or you can use a SteriPen, which is a little handheld device which you dip into the water, and it will sense that it's in the water and it'll light up, and it'll deliver a UV disinfection for about 60 seconds. You stir it in a cup. So those are the two methods that will do the final filtration and disinfection process. If you don't have a SteriPen or you have one of these sports bottles, the last step would be boiling the water. And boiling the water is very important because there are parasites that may get through the filter, a couple of them, or certain viruses that are very resistant to chlorination. And when you boil the water, it has to be at least a 3-minute rolling boil. 1 minute is recommended, but 3 minutes is really will assure you 100% that any remaining microorganisms are killed. So just to sum everything up, it's a 3-step process of taking non-potable water and making it potable. Again, the first step is taking your source water and pouring it through a cloth to remove large sediment and debris into a clean container. This treatment container now will contain the filtered water with the large debris removed. And you're going to add a chlorofloc chlorination packet, 1 packet per quart of water, with 30-minute contact time. The next step is to take that chlorinated water and pour it into a ceramic filter and filter out all the parasites and bacteria, bad taste and odor, residual chlorine, and smaller particles. Then you're going to take the filtered water and put it into another container, a cup, and you can use either a SteriPen UV sterilizer or a device like the Camelback ultraviolet, or there's also certain sports filtration bottles that are capable of removing viruses. Now that is all on the go. When you're in place and you have a need for larger quantities of water, and there's several people in your location, you can use a larger gravity feed filter. A larger gravity feed filter will hold 3 gallons. This is an emergency gravity feed filter, 3 gallons of water in the top container and 3 gallons of water in the lower container. It comes with different size filters, and this unit can hold up to 5 ceramic filters, standard size filters. That's a 2-inch by 7-inch filter, or 4 larger imperial size filters, which are 2.5 by 7-inch size filters. Now what you do is, after you've gone through the chlorination process, you then can put the water directly into this larger filtration system. And this will produce 3 gallons of water. With 4 filters in there, it will produce approximately 1 gallon an hour. So 3 gallons of water will take approximately 3 hours. And the way this system works is you keep adding water to the top, and it works by the weight of the water or head pressure, and the water will push through the ceramics, and in the bottom container you're going to have the filtered water. So after that process occurs, the last step again would be to put it into a small container, and again either use a SteriPen or a UV bottle, or boil the water. And this way you can make larger quantities of water for a large number of people. So that's when you're in place. So again, the same filtration process will occur. You take your source water, you chlorinate it, you filter it, and then the final stage will be either ultraviolet or boiling. This way you'll be assured that you have enough adequate potable water for all your consumption needs. Thank you very much.
Great.